Alrighty, well, hey there, everybody. John here, back again, Crypto Top 10, to bring you some of the trending articles in the crypto news space. Again, apologies for missing a day yesterday. Between the 10 and 12-hour days my job is suddenly requiring of me, so I can get everything squared away before the arrival of my son in 2 weeks. Oh yeah, and a wife who's 9 months pregnant. Keeping a 5-day-a-week upload schedule is daunting, to say the least. At least when I go on my parental leave, I'll have a little bit more flexibility. I'm going to record these things while the kid's napping, and the wife is napping. Oy. But hey, let's just hop right into things. I'm not taking up any more of your time with my woe is me life, or pretty nice life, depending on how you want to look at it. All right, so according to the latest data from Github, we talk about Cardano. IOHK, the development company behind Cardano, again released the most updates this month. Second place, Ethereum is following, which is in the very complex preparation for the upcoming launch of the Ethereum 2.0 Phase 0 mainnet. But Cardano is taking the top once again as one of the most developed, the most on GitHub. But overall, they have the most stuff going on, which is part of the reason why I love it so. Cardano is currently working on the further development of Shelley and has already initiated several developments on Voltaire. In addition, the launch of Gauntlet, which will be released in a 3-phase release at the end of the year, is still to come. The first feature has already been released with metadata transactions. So yeah, Shelley and decentralized staking is currently in its transition. It's getting closer and closer. Voltaire, their governance is still being implemented on top of Shelley and all that fun stuff. And Gauntlet with the smart contracts is going to be coming in hot at the end of the year. It's a lot. The second step of Gauntlet is the transition from a single asset to a multi-asset system. So users will soon be able to create their own tokens on Cardano's network. At the same time, Cardano is also developing an ERC20 token converter. So if you're on Ethereum and you want to make the jump, well, they're making it easy for you. There we go. So using that feature, you're going to be able to pretty easily migrate over. So they're making a lot of really good moves. Honestly, I think it's very underpriced for what this asset's going to do. But again, I am biased. I love it. I own it. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. And as always, I'm just here to entertain you. Don't take anything I say seriously, because I ain't no financial advisor. They've also made some pretty significant progress with the node update, version 1.19. It makes Cardano software up to 100 times faster in some parts. The Daedalus wallet, and I can say that I agree with this statement, has received continuous performance updates, and security has been significantly improved. I agree with that. Also, performance is way, way faster. There's still some slow spots here and there, especially if you haven't booted it up in a while. But all in all, the syncing of Daedalus to the blockchain and all that fun stuff goes much, much faster than it did back when they first started it. I can remember taking over an hour for Daedalus to go up 5% because I hadn't logged in 2 weeks and I needed to update, to now it can do 10% within 20 minutes. So I really rather like it. Now it's a very usable wallet. Yori is the light version of it, and it works great as well. But hey, Cardano, again, God, even with Ethereum number 2 preparing for phase 0, Cardano's blowing it out the water. I mean, in terms of development, still. But let's move on from that. So, DeFi Pulse. Yeah, they're a popular decentralized financing tracking resource. They've introduced a new tool to measure the risks within the DeFi ecosystem, developed in collaboration with digital asset modeling platform Gauntlet. For those of you who don't know, DeFi has exploded over this year, with numerous projects emerging offering alluring investment opportunities for users. However, with the rapid movement and development, the launch of multiple unaudited protocols has resulted in pretty costly mistakes and hacks, with investors losing a lot of money. Investors also made a lot of money too, but the losses definitely sting. So, while announcing the creation of the Economic Safety Grade tool, Gauntlet highlighted that proper risk assessment has lacked in the DeFi field. The risks were even higher for people outside the cryptocurrency field who are looking to invest into DeFi. I mean, if you don't even invest in crypto and you're trying to jump into DeFi, which I would consider like moderate to advanced, like knowledge is needed of the crypto sphere to be able to navigate right now, it can definitely lead to people losing a lot of money, both through scams and just not understanding how smart contracts work and all that fun stuff. So the grading tool that they're using will provide a final score ranging from 0 to 100 after examining several protocol features, including collateral volatility, relative collateral liquidity, user behavior, protocol parameters, and smart contract risks. Basically, everything over 90 is good to go with pretty minimal, almost never chance of you being exit scammed or losing your money. Do got to note the tool is only in alpha. It's in development. The smart contract risk assessment feature isn't active yet, so they're not grading it on smart contracts, but they're still looking at collateral volatility, liquidity, user behavior, and protocol parameters. So AAVE and Compound are the first to be rated as very safe using this tool. It graded the two. Both performed pretty well. AAVE received a 95 out of 100 with Compound netting a 91. Both respectable scores. Depending on what school you went to, they're both an A. My school, Compound, would have been a B+. A- was a 92. But yeah, still both very impressive scores. Gauntlet explained that they also estimated the risk of the system for users borrowing a stablecoin against this collateral type. The stablecoin borrowing on AAVE accounts for 70%, while on Compound the percentage is at 90%. Interesting. They're going to be reviewing MakerDAO, which has 100% stablecoin borrowers next. So I'm going to be interested to see what this does. The release of these grades and actually creating like a system to measure these protocols against each other and their risk to the users is great. It's a long time coming, and it's something that we're definitely going to need to see so that way the field can continue to grow and develop. But let's hop on over to Trezor. So Trezor, everyone's favorite wallet, they're saying they've got a phishing-proof one now. Not bad. They launched a new desktop app called Trezor Suite for its hardware wallet. According to an October 14th blog post, their parent company, Satoshi Labs, claimed its desktop app provides more robust protection than its browser-based wallet and says they have eliminated the risk of phishing attacks that often target crypto users. Hardware wallets, despite being commonly used as a cold storage method, aren't exempt from data breaches. Back in January, Kraken Security Labs showed that hackers could extract private keys from a Trezor hardware wallet with just 15 minutes of physical access to the device. I mean, the key there is physical. I don't know how many of you guys with hardware wallets just leave it laying out where someone could steal it, but yeah, there's always a possibility. Phishing scams are also quite prevalent nowadays, and they can result in the losses of millions of dollars. Ledger, another hardware wallet provider, confirmed a data breach in June that comprised more than 1 million user email addresses. They can try to send you a legit-looking email that'll redirect you to a fake page where you can log in with your credentials. They'll get those credentials and then boot you out, take what they want, and move on. So Trezor is noting that its desktop app will be in public beta until January of 2021, at which time its old browser-based Trezor wallet would be depreciated, so they'd be switching over to the desktop app for the security and safety of their users. Makes pretty good sense to me. I really like it since it's not browser-based. It's on this desktop app. If you get one of those phishing email scams and it tries to redirect you to a browser, you know it's not right because it's not the desktop app. So it definitely makes it much, much harder for these guys to steal your money, which is a very, very good thing. All right, so hopping on over, little IOTA update. So the IOTA Foundation on October 14th answered numerous questions from the community about the launch of Coordicide during an AMA. On the topic of Coordicide, Billy Sanders, senior research scientist at the IOTA Foundation, spoke about the challenges the team is currently facing with regard to implementation. He explained that the most important research points have been answered, but the challenges that they still have laying around are implementing and testing the solution they've come up with. They're implementing their solution into the Pollen testnet and typing it up into their research specifications. After that is done, their solution will go through a rigorous testing phase. During that time, they'll be collecting performance data, looking for attack vectors, and tuning the parameters. So they are working pretty diligently on it. I believe Coordicide is on track to be launched as planned, which is pretty good. Phase 3 Honey is going to be ready in the first half of 2021. That is a bit of a wide window. I wish they would have nailed it down to Q1 or Q2, but they're probably estimating Q1 and they're just saying first half, so if something gets delayed, they don't get egg on their face. Obviously, replacing the current IOTA mainnet with a brand new IOTA protocol is going to be no easy feat. So they need to be absolutely sure that the implementation and fundamental protocols have been extensively tested and reviewed by other experts to, make sure it works. The last thing you want is for your whole protocol to collapse because you didn't test it enough. I mean, But still, nice little update. I'm glad to see that IOTA's interacting with their community, answering questions, and things seem to be on track for them. So cool. Alrighty, well, hey, let's hop on over here and take a look at what Coinbase is doing in Ethereum's new scaling boom. Yeah, so there has been an explosion of Ethereum scaling developments in the past week, with the latest and arguably biggest is going to be that Coinbase Wallet is integrating with Optimum's optimistic rollup testnet. It's quite a mouthful. So Coinbase Wallet is the U.S. exchange's non-custodial wallet and dApp browser, not the exchange itself. And the integration will allow users to view their balances and send transactions on Optimism's testnet, according to the Post. So a lot of exchanges and dApps are moving into these layer 2 solutions that enable increased throughput and reduce congestion on the Ethereum network, because as we all know, it is bursting at the seams. This is going to be key for Ethereum's long-term growth. Even with today's niche user base, and yes, we are still niche users at this point in time, gas fees and confirmation times have skyrocketed at the height of the yield farming craze, which has tapered off a little bit, but still it pushed Ethereum to its technical limits, and it priced out pretty much anyone transacting with smaller amounts. Some of those smart contracts, it was wanting like $100 worth of gas to be able to use, and that is just no bueno. So Coinbase is the second major centralized exchange after Bitfinex to announce plans to take part of their transactions off of the Ethereum's main chain. Layer 2 scaling solutions are technologies that remove some of the computation that's on-chain, or Layer 1, and take it off the chain so the network can be faster, and then take the completed transactions and input them back into the chain. It's a whole thing. Kind of technical, but it's pretty nice. It enables a slower crypto, like Ethereum currently is, to operate much faster, akin to the Lightning Network with Bitcoin. So, Synthetics, which has announced the first phase of its integration with optimistic Ethereum in May, yesterday said it's actually moving into phase 2 of its integration. They're going to be trialing the migration from Layer 1 to Layer 2, and that's just a drop in the bucket. Loopring's doing some stuff. Aztec, I mean, there's a lot of different protocols and places that are starting to move to these Layer 2 solutions. Ethereum is the big boy. A lot of these places probably have a lot of money invested in Ethereum, and the slowness of Ethereum is threatening its standing, quite honestly. So by these protocols and companies implementing these Layer 2 solutions themselves, it enables Ethereum to be much faster without actually having upgraded. So it's better for Ethereum and those who hold large amounts of Ethereum, like Coinbase and these other centralized exchanges. So it's a win-win for everybody, except the company has to do a little bit more work, but that is an investment for the future for them. So it works. But hey, rounding things off a little bit, we're going to touch on Bitcoin a little bit and the Kucoin hack, or BitMEX's legal action. Why didn't it seem to drop? Remember in 2017 or 2016 or 2015, just look at Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox went down and Bitcoin crashed pretty darn far. But back then, that was like the exchange. Now we've got a lot more, and a lot of other stuff is going on. BitMEX recently faced some pretty major legal action in the United States. 3 of its heads were arrested. So, not anything small. And Kucoin suffered like an over $250 million hack, all within several days. But why did these events not really hurt Bitcoin? So, Alex Savetsky, CEO of Bitcoin investment app Amber, he's got a couple opinions. Basically saying, Bitcoin's price is a function of global demand versus a strict, immutable supply and a diminishing schedule. So there's not much of it, and less is being mined every day. So, as more people, especially large-scale organizations, look to acquire some, it creates not only a price floor, but continues to increase upward price pressure. So basically, the more people buying, the higher the floor becomes, and the higher the floor becomes, the more it pushes it up. So, over the course of 2020, a number of big players have publicly bought hefty amounts of Bitcoin, including MicroStrategy, Paul Tudor Jones, Square, Grayscale Bitcoin Investment Trust, lots of people. So, Bitcoin did not fall significantly on the news, and it on the Kucoin news, and fell a couple $100 with BitMEX, but that was a relatively small reaction to a significant news event. In contrast, after a couple days of sideways price action, the asset is beginning its journey upward out of levels of consolidation. A lot of people, including Savetsky, are saying this is setting for an extraordinary run, and no exchange hack, stimulus delay, or state policy will be able to hold it back. Oh boy, I sure hope so. We are overdue for a massive golden bull run that we've all been waiting for since the last one ended, and I think we might see it this year. It's getting close. Alrighty, well that does it for the trending articles in the crypto news space today. Thanks to all those who have subscribed, and if you made it to this point and you're not subscribed, you might as well. Get to hear me talk like 3, 4, 5 days a week if you want, or just pop in from time to time when you see some news articles off the rip that you'd like to hear a bit more about. But let's take a look. Top 10 coins by market cap right now. We've got some down, we got some up. Looks like Bitcoin Cash is up 1.32%. That's the winner out of the top 10 in the past 24 hours, with XRP being down 3.1%, but still overall positive on the week, as all the coins are, so pretty good for them. Let's take a look. Number 1 coin, Reserve Rights, RSR, is up 24% on the day, with Uniswap down 12.63% on the day, making it the womp womp. Still up 12% on the week, so even though it's a bad day, it's a good week. Not too shabby. Yearn Finance is negative on both, and that's kind of a downer for those of you guys who are real big Yearn Finance fans. Believe me, I get it. But that will do it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you all soon. Stay safe.